Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we've got another little red dot to look at, and this one is the PMD506 from Votatu. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm going to say it, so that's what we're going with. Anyway, this little red dot was sent to me by them for review, so there's that right out of the gate. It's just like pretty much any other red dot, except this one does have the Noblex or Doctor footprint. It's not an RMR. I prefer RMR just because I think it's more standard, but at any rate, the Doctor footprint is still pretty popular. You can find just about anything you want for it. Right now I've got it mounted on a riser on this AR-22 right here, but you can mount it on a handgun. I had it piggybacked on my 18-inch. Had it like a 40, not piggybacked, 45 right there. It worked really good on that. So, you know, you can do whatever you want to do with these little small ones. You can do with this right here. And before we get talking about it too much, we're going to take it in on the table and get a closer look and go over some of the features and see what comes in the box and what it looks like with the manual and all the little parts and features and all that stuff. So let's go do that right now. All right, so let's take a look at this little red dot right here. This is the PMD506 from Votatu. As you can see, it's the red version, the little red LED right there. You can see right here, here's that multi-reticle design. You can go circle, dot, dot, or circle. And there's your sizes for your circle, that 2 MOA center dot, and the, what is that, 45-ish MOA circle right there. You know, it's got all the other stuff on there, you know, that a normal manual has. Also comes with a bunch of extra screws for mounting to different things, or, you know, for different depths. Got your Torx wrench, which adjusts your mounting does your mounting screws, and then a flathead. One side of it is going to be for your battery tray, and the other side is going to be for your windage and elevation. It comes with this Picatinny mount pre-installed, which is nice because a lot of these, if you want to mount it to a Picatinny surface, you have to buy a whole other mount. So it's good that they include it. It's probably not the best one out there, but you know, it is good that it's already included and already mounted on the optic. So just going over some of the other features of the optic, it does have 10 illumination settings. 2 are claimed to be night vision and 8 daylight bright. It does have auto awake and auto off, so after like 3 or 4 minutes, the optic will cut off, and then with a slight bit of motion, it'll cut back on. So that's good for saving battery. You don't have to worry about cutting it off or, you know, the battery running out before it's supposed to. It also has these little notches on the back that kind of act like a rear sight post. So that way, if you mount it on a handgun, you've got kind of a rough aiming reference right there. You know, a lot of other optics, you can see that on. That way you don't have to maybe get a rear sight. And also on the top, it's got kind of a rough aiming, maybe on the top. Not sure if that's what they were going for with that design there, but it is there. You could use it if you need to. All right, so now we can go over some of the things that I like and don't like about it. One thing right off the bat that you kind of notice is the hood on it is kind of angled forward like that. I kind of prefer them to be straight. It's not that big a deal. You know, it could be more protection to the front, like if you have to, you know, rack your handgun off of something, or if you've got it like 45 and you want to like hit it up against a barricade, or not want to, but you end up hitting it. You get a little bit more protection right there. I personally just like the sleeker look of the closer hood there. It does have these little notches on the top, which gives it kind of a geometric look, but I guess you could almost use it as a rough aiming reference. It makes like a V on the top right there. It also has the notches right here for like aiming on a handgun. Some little rough like rear sight notches right there. The thing I like about it the most is the reticle, or the multiple reticles. It's got 3 options actually. It's got the like we saw inside, it has the big ring, which I think is from edge to edge is 60 something, but the actual circle without the little ticks on the side is probably 45-ish. And that center dot is a 2 MOA center dot. And to me, it looks very crisp, even with astigmatism, like out in the daylight. The center dot is very crisp. The ring is fairly crisp. And I kind of like the EOTech style reticle right there. I've used it on this gun for Metal Madness matches. And those are just 22 long rifle matches where you shoot steel really fast. 5 or 6 rounds at a string. Nothing too fancy, but we're just shooting 22s really fast and real dirty, and moving from target to target very fast. And this thing did very well, especially with that center, that big circle and that little center dot. You could almost probably just do it without the center dot, but at any rate, the reticle works really well for transitioning fast targets, and that little center dot is very crisp for doing precision shots. It also has multiple brightness levels. It's got plenty of daylight brightness. It gets pretty dim, and it also gets very bright. I had it, the sun shining at me at the range, and it was plenty bright enough to counteract that and to still be able to see the reticle perfectly fine. It also gets dim enough. It says it has 2 night vision. I don't know if the night visions are actual night vision settings designed for night vision goggles, or if they're just very dim, the 2 lowest ones they just claim. I don't know. At any rate, it does get dim enough to where you can see it with night vision, and it's pretty easy to do, especially if you've got it mounted high enough up. You can get a tube behind it, and I've done it, and it works great. You can see the reticle pretty easily, especially with the big open window and all that stuff. So it works with night vision. We'll put it that way. Another thing I like about it is the side load battery tray. Some of them load from the top. I don't know. It's not that big a deal, because just as long as you don't have to take it off like the RMRs and stuff. But the Holosuns and all that stuff have the side load tray. I just think that's kind of convenient, just to be able to take the screw out, pull the tray out, put the battery back in, all that stuff. You don't have to mess around with the big cap on the top, or like I said earlier, taking the whole red dot off the mount. Just like all the other ones, it has 2 buttons on the side, a plus and a minus for your brightness. You can use those to change reticles and all that stuff. The instructions on how to do that are in the manual. Pretty easy to do. It's got the little anti-reflective or anti-glare notches on the bottom. It just helps with the glare from the sun, seeing the reticle and all that stuff. The front lens is coated red-ish. I don't know if you can kind of see that. It's got a little red tint to it, but most of them do. I've only got a couple that don't really have a red tint, but most of them do. Even like high-end red dots, like micro dots, aim point style, T2, stuff like that, they've all got reddish tints to them, so no big deal there. So to wrap it all up, this to me seems like a pretty decent little red dot. I'm sure it's plenty tough enough if you wanted to mount it on a pistol. I personally tend to not mount these kind of like off-brand Amazon red dots on handguns. Maybe if I had one that wasn't my everyday carry, but my everyday carry doesn't get one of those. It gets a nicer Chinese red dot, a Holosun. So say what you want about that. But at any rate, I think this would be perfect for a little 22, like your kid's gun. If you wanted to 45 it on one of your main guns, I think it'd be great for that. If you don't want to spend $200 or $300 or more on another red dot just to hang off the side and be a secondary for your main gun, or like I said, on a 22, something like this for your kids' guns, your kids' 22, your kids' AR, something like that, BB gun even, be great for that. All right, so that's pretty much it on the review for the PMD506 from Votatu. This is a Dr. Footprint, red reticle, circle, dot, all that kind of stuff. Cool little handgun red dot. Got a link below. Check it out. That's all I got for you. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.